My family was always in summer camp. My dad owned a camp, he ran a camp, he was the head counselor at a camp. In this particular camp, they were doing a production of The Sound of Music, and they didn't have any young girls to play Gretel, so they had a young boy who could play Hansel. And that was my first experience as an actor, was playing Hansel, the youngest child in the Von Trapp family. I would say it's making sure all the lines are known, because you only have one other person to feed you a cue line, and you don't have any time at all to think about what's my line. You have to know your lines. You're right there with the other person, and it's moment to moment with the other person, more than I think anybody would really realize that it is. It's the most intimate type of show and the most intimate type of setting. Any play that has 4 characters or less, in my opinion, is the perfect type of intimacy for a small crowd to enjoy and really get to know the piece and get to know the characters as well. There are times, I think, when people have things about them that they're not sure they want other people to know. So they hide them away very deep inside themselves and hope that they never have to appear. If those secrets are threatened, you want to guard them even more. I'm not completely closed off in a lot of ways that I think he is. I'm more open to certain things and more willing to explore certain things, I think, than he is. Absolutely. I don't think there is any actor that does not. I think that's normal. I think that an actor that is not nervous, I think there's always something wrong with that. I was doing 1776, I was playing John Adams. Scene 3 is by far the longest scene in that musical. It's an entire scene in this Continental Congress that takes forever. Takes forever to get to a final vote. And there was an actor who was a courier who had one line and missed his cue and never came on stage. And it made the Continental Congress 15 minutes longer than it should have. It was a 15-minute improv by me and the actor playing Dickinson, and it made the longest scene in a musical longer than it needed to be. But it was very funny. Daniel Day-Lewis really, in my opinion, becomes who he is portraying. When I saw Lincoln the first time, I did what I noticed first was his walk, not the way he spoke. I noticed his walk, and I thought to myself, this is a man who really understands what it is to be an actor completely and totally devour a role right down to the intimate detail, the smallest little thing. And I admire that incredibly. Judas Iscariot and Jesus Christ Superstar. I've only understudied Judas Iscariot, but Judas Iscariot in Superstar is what I want to do. Yeah, actually there is. I don't know if I'll ever get the chance because he was a wonder to watch. His name is Don Sparks. Don Sparks worked with me on a show that was directed by Joshua Logan that I did with Howard Da Silva. Don Sparks later went on to portray a district attorney on LA Law, but this man was one of the most creative comedic actors I had ever seen, and to watch him every night was such a thrill. I don't know, that's interesting. I mean, I never really thought about that. But I guess since we were just talking about it, and I truly believe that the course of history was completely changed by the assassination of Robert Kennedy, I would say Robert Kennedy.
Okay.
Well, aside from my job with the New York Mets that takes a lot of my time, when I do have free time, I do go to a lot of movies. I spend a lot of time at the movies, and I go to New York and I spend a lot of time at the theater. I do. I know it's ridiculous to think that, but it's my free time, and that's what I love, and I learn most from watching. I just want to say that, there's a reason why I've wanted to do this show for 30 years, because I think this is it's a tour de force for any actor and actress for that matter, because they're the only roles in the show. And I believe in the words that are in this play, and I enjoy the idea that this is two actors working together on a bare stage, which this is a life in the theater, what is going on in this play. And it's exactly what I enjoy, and I'm glad I'm able to do it.
Awesome. Well, there we go. Thanks.